Have you been planning your trip to Vietnam for such a long time but find it such a hassle because you have children with you? Then you have come to the right video. Today, I will help you go through all of the important memos that you need to know before going to our country. First, the most important part of bringing your kid here is definitely lies in the preparation part. So first, for starter, you know that Vietnam is a tropical country, and maybe depending on different regions that the weather that can be different. So if you come here during the hot season, it is important that you bring loose-fitting clothing for your kids and important accessories like sunglasses. Other than sunscreen to block your kid from the sun, it is also essential to remember that there are a lot of mosquitoes and bugs here in Vietnam. So it's best to bring a anti-mosquito spray during Vietnam, or you can just buy here once you have come to Vietnam as well. Vietnam often has long summers ranging from May to September, and with extreme heat waves ranging from June to August. We all know that kids are not the best when dealing with extreme heat. So I would say the perfect time for you to come here would range somewhere between October to May of next year. And the final part in the preparation that you must notice is your kids' allergies. I cannot stress this one enough, especially if your kid had an allergic reaction to peanuts, because there are a lot of food in Vietnam that use peanuts as their main ingredients, and maybe other variants of peanuts like peanut oil or peanut butter can also be used as an ingredient for Vietnamese dish. So it is really good if you can research in prior what food that you can and cannot eat in Vietnam, and make sure to stick to that list before coming here. Okay, now you have set foot to Vietnam, you are exploring our wonderful country. So what do you need to remember during this phase? For starters, if you have a kid with you and your kid's preference for destination maybe probably a bit different than you, then you must also go to the places. So you must find the family-friendly or kid-friendly destination. For that, I would suggest first some sightseeing or amusement park places. And in Vietnam, we just have the right destinations for you guys to try out. And then we have the Bana Hills from Da Nang. We could also have Vinpearl in Nha Trang or Phu Quoc that offers safari, a water park, or aquariums. You can also, if you want a simpler and more genuine experience, you can definitely go to Ninh Bình. And my favorite activity when I was there was to bike around the local town and to explore all of the paddy fields and to talk to the locals. You can also visit some cultural heritage. For instance, you can see the water puppet show that are indefinitely famous here in Vietnam. You can also try out the Huyen Lantern Festival. Again, another really famous tourist site. Other than famous destinations, if you're just looking for a casual place to stroll around with your kids, there are two places that I would definitely recommend. First, we have the bookstores. So bookstores in Vietnam, there are a lot of them that offer a playing space for children. So for instance, Nhà sách Tiến Thọ is one of those places. You can definitely search them on Google. Other bookstores like maybe Phahasa or Huyen Nam, they don't have a playing area, but they have a separated space for kids to read. So definitely a recommendation. The second place I would recommend are simply cafes. From what I've known, cafes in Vietnam are extremely kid-friendly, but there are also some other cafes that have a separated playing space for your kid, and one of which that I know is the Laika Cafe. So you can definitely search them out when you come to Vietnam. Okay, the next important part are the food. If your kids are picky eater, make sure to learn these sentences in advance to communicate to the owner of the restaurant or the waiter or waitress. First, we got the không cay, which means no spicy. Không mì chính means no MSG, and không lạc, không đậu phộng means no peanuts. One small tip here. In Vietnam, there are a lot of destinations or restaurants that offer a kid discount. So as long as your children meet the height requirements or the age requirement, you can be exempted from paying for them. And usually they would have a guide board outside to show, to list detail the requirements. And so please be mindful of this so you can cut yourself some costs. Okay, so here is really the elephant in the room when you come to Vietnam, the traffic. I know, not just for your kid, but it can be a terror for adults as well who have not adapted to the chaoticness of Vietnamese traffic system. So for this, I would say you have to keep your eyes on yourself and your kids at all costs, because when left unsupervised, it will be very likely that your kid can stand in the middle of the street or just, cross the street unknowingly. And those cases can be very, very dangerous for your safety. So please be mindful of that. And I think it's best for you to bring a local with you to teach you how to cross the street and to navigate the streets in Vietnam in the safest way. Do you have all the information that you need? Remember, when planning to travel, especially when you have your kids, no information is too much information. So it is best really to stay aware and to research in advance all of the needed infos that you need to know for the safety of you and your kids. I hope that this video has been helpful to make you plan your trip better. Bye bye, and we hope to see you in a beautiful country with your family.